Wow. It's like springtime in a plate. Hey everyone, Tommy here for another exciting episode of Chef Dovers. So today in our cornucopia, I'm going to show you, we got some fresh mushrooms, we got some cherry tomatoes, some Kirby cucumbers, we have some yogurt, some basmati rice, got some lemons, some garlic, some onion, and for meats we got steak, we got some chicken, we got some shrimp, and for herbs we have some fresh mint that's been growing out in the backyard. For spice we got some saffron and we got some sumac. We got a little kosher salt, we got some pepper, and for oil we have some olive oil, and for flavoring we got some nice Pinot Grigio. When I look at all this, I am thinking of some Persian kebabs. I don't know about y'all, but that is delicious for summertime. So I'm making Persian kebabs to make them nice and delicious and tender as we like. The first thing we're gonna have to do is make a phenomenal marinade. So what I've done is I put a whole onion in the blender, I put 4 cloves of garlic, and I put a tablespoon of olive oil. I'm gonna puree these up. So what you want is you wanna make sure that your puree is very smooth because it's actually gonna be in the marinade for the meat, and it needs to get inside that meat and actually give it flavor and give it tenderness. So the finer that you puree this, the better off you'll be. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the puree that we made out of the garlic, the onion, and the olive oil, and we're gonna set it down. We're gonna take 3/4 of a cup of plain Greek yogurt, a teaspoon and a half of pepper, a teaspoon of turmeric, and a teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes. Now what I've done is I've taken a 3/4 of a teaspoon of saffron, and I've added it to some hot water and let it dissolve. And I'm gonna add this now to my mixture. This is gonna be the base of the marinade for all of the meats that we're going to do. We're gonna be doing shrimp, we're gonna be doing steak, and we're gonna be doing chicken. And this will be the marinade base for all 3. What I've done is I've taken the marinade and I've pre-portioned them out evenly into 3 Ziploc bags. I'm gonna take kosher salt and a lemon juice Pinot Grigio mixture, and I'm going to evenly split them across 2 out of the 3 bags. Here's why. I want to have the shrimp without salt and without lemon because those things tend to dry out the meat. The steak, on the other hand, and the chicken, on the other hand, have enough meat and juice behind them to stand up to the lemon and to the salt. All right, we're gonna put a 1/2 teaspoon kosher salt, and if a little bit goes outside of it, it's fine. Okay, got those in 2 out of 3, and then we're gonna take our lemon juice and Pinot Grigio mixture, which is about 1/2 cup in total, and we're going to evenly split them across 2 of the marinade bags. That's about 1/2 of that and 1/2 of that. The lemon Pinot Grigio mixture I just used there is 1/2 cup of liquid in total. 3/4 of that liquid is going to be the lemon juice, and 1/4 of that liquid is going to be the Pinot Grigio. All right, now that we got our marinades here, we got our meats all prepared, we got our shrimp peeled and deveined, we got our chicken cut up into cubes, we got our steak cut up into cubes. I'm gonna go ahead and add these to the marinade. Now, this is the one that doesn't have salt and lemon mixture in it. Again, don't wanna keep the salt in there for the shrimp because shrimp have their own natural salt and they're very tender. So I'm gonna hit those up on the grill later on with lemon and salt.
So it'll still have the same flavors even though you're not adding the lemon and salt right now.
Exactly. Now this is top sirloin steak. This is chicken breast. And this is pink Argentinian shrimp. They taste like little mini lobsters. I really recommend it. They were the ones that on sale, which is what drove me to buy them, but they are absolutely delicious, very naturally sweet, and they're gonna be great on the grill with this marinade. I'm gonna lay them on their sides so that I can cover the most meat with the marinade and do the same here. And then what we're gonna do is about halfway through the marinade process, I'm gonna flip it over so that the marinade gets a chance to get onto all the meats. And we're gonna marinate this in the fridge overnight, and in the morning I wanna turn it over. No Persian kebabs would be complete without that classic yogurt sauce to go on the side and kind of cool things down as you're eating. This particular version of yogurt sauce that I'm making is called mast-o. And for all my Persian speaking friends out there, I apologize if I did that incorrectly, but I did the best that I could. My friend Barbod back in college taught me how to make this, and the first thing he showed me is that instead of using oregano and dill as they do in the Greek style yogurts, use fresh mint. So what I have is I have 3 tablespoons of fresh mint right here that I'm going to actually put a little bit aside and then put the rest into the yogurt sauce. So what I've done is I've taken 1 tablespoon of the mint and I've set it to the side. We're gonna use that for a garnish later. What I'm gonna do with the remaining 2 tablespoons is I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, much like making a mojito. I'm gonna mash it into the mint to begin to extract the oils out of the mint. I can smell it in the air. It's really pleasant, very fragrant. Now that I've gotten it good and mashed up, I'm gonna add this to 32 ounces of Greek style yogurt. Now I'm gonna do 12 twists of my pepper grinder. Make sure that it's all thoroughly integrated, all right? Now that that is all integrated, I'm gonna show you what kind of cucumbers to use. So this here is a Kirby cucumber. It is much smaller, more compact, much more dense than a regular American cucumber would be. And the reason why I like to use these is they're the closest thing that I'm able to find in my local grocery store to Persian cucumbers. There is much less liquid in these types of cucumbers. And the reason why that's important is that when you mix it into the yogurt, you don't want a lot of excess liquid to come out with the salt and make your yogurt too thin. So if you're gonna use regular American cucumbers, if you absolutely have to, you can, but be sure to remove the seeds and dice it up and make sure to coat it with a little bit of salt to let the juices sweat out, and then rinse it down and dry it before you put it into your yogurt. But go with the Kirby's and you'll be satisfied every time. This is considered actually to be a salad in Persian cuisine. The Greek yogurt, the tzatziki sauce, is a bit more of a condiment. This is actually more of a substantial salad. Now, if you want to, you can eat it right now. It'll taste delicious. But what I really recommend doing is putting it in the fridge for about 4 hours to let all the spices come together, the salts, the flavor from the cucumber, the mint, to really well integrate. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to our fridge and we're gonna take out the meat that's been marinating overnight with that lovely marinade we put together. Now, the interesting thing about the shrimp here is that you'll notice that it is a lot more orange in color than the other 2. The reason for that is these Argentinian shrimp actually have their own natural food coloring within them. They're very pink, and that pink will come out in the sauce. I'm gonna put all these on pre-soaked skewers so that they don't burn. I soak these in water overnight. And one of the things that I want to mention to you, I know you're probably used to seeing shish kebabs in the store where it's meat and vegetables and meat. I find that to be troublesome when I'm cooking. What I like to do is I like to do it how they do in the Persian restaurants. They have one type of item on each skewer. So I'm gonna put all beef on this one, I'm gonna put all chicken on the next, and all shrimp on the final one, and then I'm gonna have my own separate vegetable skewers as well, so that everything cooks evenly and consistently across the kebab. Okay, as you can see, I got the grill ready to go. I got the hot side, I got the cold side. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna put the vegetables on the grill. Start with onions. The thing with the vegetables here, we're not gonna really cook them a lot. We're going to do the equivalent on the grill as to what we would do with blanching on the stove. We're gonna get them to char and to blister. Now with the meats, we're gonna go in order. We're gonna start with the chicken, then I'm gonna hit the steak, and then finally the shrimp. The shrimp comes last because it cooks very quickly, and I need to treat that a little bit more specially than the other 2 since it's so tender. Since we didn't add any lemon or salt to the marinade, I'm gonna do that while it's grilling. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let these char on one side, and then I'm gonna flip them. And then the minute that I flip them, I'm gonna add some kosher salt and squeeze some lemon on them. And that way the char will actually protect the meat and just allow the flavor to go around the coating.
What's your favorite part about cooking?
I love creating something that I can share with other people. It's a way that I express love to people. It makes people happy. It brings people together. It gets people talking.
What got you interested in international food?
Travel. Did a lot of traveling. Traveled to Spain and Italy and the British Isles and Germany and Switzerland and Denmark. Lots of places. And I've always had friends who are from other cultural backgrounds. And their families also inspired me, them and their families. And there we have it. We're ready to take it inside. Final thing we're gonna do on this meat, we're gonna garnish with a little bit of mint.
That's left over from
Yep.
the yogurt, right?
You got it. There you guys go.
That's beautiful.
Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna serve this with some buttered basmati rice. But to seal the deal and make this legit, I'm gonna take some sumac and I'm gonna sprinkle it on top of the rice. If you're ever in a kebab restaurant and you look on the table where they normally keep the salt and pepper, and you see a kind of a brown powdery substance in a shaker, try it out. It's called sumac. It gives it a nice acidic, almost like a lemon flavor. That's beautiful. And we'll put a little bit on the kebabs, just for some color, some flavor. And now, got to bring out this beautiful mast-o that we made earlier. It's been in the fridge for about 4 hours. It should be perfect and ready to go. I'm gonna put it on the table with the kebabs. And there you go. This is your Persian surf and turf symphony here. And really looking forward to tasting it and trying it out, let you all know what I think. So I made myself a little sampler plate here so I can get a little taste of it before the family digs in. And I'm gonna do like I usually do, take my tomato and sort of crush it on top of my rice and let the flavors kind of get in there and get some meat in there and get a little mast-o in there, and let's see how the chicken tastes first. Let's see what we got going on. Oh, wow. It's like springtime in a plate. Cucumbers and the tomatoes and the rice and the yogurt. I'll try it with some shrimp now. Taste all that marinade we got in there. This is killer. This is killer. I think you guys are gonna like it. If you try this at home, you're gonna like it a lot. I highly recommend it. All right, guys, as usual, as I said, if there's anything I can do for you, let me know. Reach out to me, like us, subscribe to us. Let me know if there's anything cool you want me to try. I'm gonna keep on coming up with some ideas that I can share with you, and my hopes are to inspire you to do the same thing at home. Thanks for watching, everybody.